Peace, peace, peace. Rob Blackstorm here. Hope everything's well with you and yours. I just want to talk to y'all tonight really quick about the full moon, the full worm moon on this spring equinox. And just wanted to go into a little bit of how I've been feeling, drop a little bit of knowledge on it, and kind of talk about the best way to ride this wave. You know, part of this channel, I always speak about energy. I don't think of things in terms of matter, because this world is a matrix of our creation, meaning that our perception controls the way this world operates for us as individuals. This is not a group sport. Spirituality is the individual quest that you may undertake with teachers, you may undertake with colleagues, you may undertake with other people. However, this is an individual quest, right? If you don't do the work, then you will not get the results. That's the way spirituality works. And you could talk all day and act like you have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't do the work, you're not going to get the results. That's the way personal development and spirituality work. So, what we're going to talk about today, or tonight, is we're going to talk about this full worm moon that is in Libra. And Libra is an air sign. Interesting. Libra is an air sign. Now, if we look at Libra, Libra is the scales, right? Libra is the scales. Or the scale, you would call it the scales of justice. Now, imagine or visualize a Libra scale that is in the air. Imagine that Libra scale suspended in the air. Now, that Libra scale suspended in the air would be subject to a lot of wind, right? Or it'd be subject to a lot of movement because there's wind up there. So that Libra scale will be constantly going back and forth. It will be off balance because it is under the wind. Well, we do not have wind, but we do have a flow. And the flow that we have is Mercury is still in retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde, or has been, from March 5th, and it will be until March 28th. Mercury is in retrograde, but it is in Pisces, which is a water sign, which is where the flow is coming from. Mercury in retrograde in Pisces is dealing with, or retrograde's period with Mercury is usually dealing with communication, or communication issues, miscommunications. That's why, you know, computer systems usually go out of whack. People's phones, people have problems talking. There's a lot of arguments. This is the vibration that came into this full moon. Now, this full moon that is in Libra is on what they call the equinox. The equinox, I had to look this up. The equinox is, this is off the internet. The equinox is regarded as the instance of time when the plane of Earth's equator passes through the center of the sun. So, in other words, it's the moment in which the center of the visible sun is directly above the equator. So the sun is directly above the equator, which means that there is an abundance of light that is coming into the earth. Now, what does light do? Light illuminates the darkness. Light shows you the truth. Light shows you what the reality is, right? You do not understand or see reality until you see it through the light. You need light. I remember there was what do they call it? When blackout, all the lights went out and there was no street lights. You had candles or whatever. And I remember trying to go to my local corner store with a candle and not really being able to see in front of myself, because the moonlight, as powerful as the moon is, was not as powerful as the sun. So I couldn't even see my hand, and I could see my hand with the candle, but I couldn't see my other hand, right? So some of you who've been blackouts may know what I'm talking about. So getting into this moon that is in Libra, we are dealing with a lot of illumination. And right now, we are being challenged mentally. I know myself, I've been thinking a lot about even doing this, doing the YouTubes, my next move in life, my agenda, my goals for myself. I have children, what I want to do for my children, you know, what really matters and what I have to let go. And I've also been dealing with a lot of self-doubt lately, where, you know, you would say maybe 2 weeks ago, I was super confident about everything. But the last 3-4 days, a lot of self-doubt crept in, right? And I'm looking at where did this come from? Like, where did this energy come from? Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't do anything different. Still kept the same morning ritual that I do, you know, meditating, positive thoughts, affirmations, and gratitude, right? Same thing, exercise, same things I've been doing. So why did I all of a sudden feel this way? So I realized that my old self was fighting my new self. My old spirit was fighting my new spirit. My old outlook on things was fighting my new outlook. That's the Libra scale, if we go back to the Libra scale being in the air. Right? The Libra scale being in the air. Just going with the wind of Mercury, right? Or the water of Mercury, right? We can call it a flow. You know, going with that, going with the flow of that Mercury water, you know, because it's in Pisces, and also Pisces is a water sign, and going with the air sign of Libra. So that Libra, just the flow. So my brain was doing that, you know, making, you know, oh, I got to cut this out. Oh, but I got to go to this. Oh, I got to deal with people judging me doing this. Oh, I got to deal with, you know, the kids and making sure their bills are paid. And is this the route I'm going to go? And boom, what is the real purpose? What is the goal? What is the next step? What do I have to express that I'm not expressing? And what do I have to give to the world that I'm not giving to the world, or that I'm holding back from? So it's been a lot of mental chatter. And if you are going to express yourself, this is the cycle to do it. If you've been holding back on doing something, maybe it's getting out of a bad relationship, maybe it's, you know, you're looking for a new career, you know, maybe it's time to follow your dream. Maybe it's a new, a new relationship. Maybe it's the time to take a trip. Maybe it's a time for a vacation. But right now, it's time for balance. And you can achieve balance by planning. And good communication, especially with yourself, is about planning. Good communication is about planning ideas. Good communication is about jotting down your ideas. Good communication is about speaking to loved ones, getting in contact with people that support you, being sociable. And even if you're not being sociable with other people, you should see yourself in these situations, right? You should use this energy of Mercury and of this full moon in Libra to figure out how you're going to communicate your dream to the world, or how you're going to communicate your best self to the world. What does that look like? A lot of people say they want to be millionaires and billionaires, but what does that look like for real? How does that look like to you if you're a billionaire? What does the security look like that you have? What do the cars that you have look like? What do the bills that you have look like? Who are the accountants that you have look like? Not just the good stuff. Because it's a whole lifestyle with becoming a billionaire. Right? Jeff Bezos was just about to get exposed by National Enquirer because they had some text of him cheating on his wife. And this guy is the richest man in the world, and they still try to extort him. Are you prepared to deal with something like that? Are you prepared to address people who try to extort you and people trying to take your money all the time? Do you know what you're going to invest in once you become a millionaire? Who are you going to trust once you're a millionaire? These are things that you have to look at and visualize to make it real and make it tangible. So that if that's your goal, that's what you want to be, that you go forth with that. My goal is to be one of the best orators and one of the best speakers of all time. And that is a lofty goal, but I'm going to get there. And I'm going to work hard to get there. But I'm going to see myself there before I even take that. Well, I'm actually taking a step now, but I'm going to continue to see myself there, continue to see myself getting better and better, and continuously to influence more people and continue to raise my vibration by putting foot to ground, so to speak. But the first place I have to put foot to ground is here. And that's what this new moon is saying, that you have to see yourself where you want to be here. But Libra is also saying that it has to be planned out. It has to be mapped out. It can't just be something random. It can't just be, it has to be detailed. It can't just be, oh, I'm going to, become a fireman one day. And there's no goal to get there. And there's no path to get there. Because that's unbalanced. In order to get from A to B, you have to have a map, right? You have to have a means of getting there. The idea has to be there. Okay, the idea is 1/2 of the scale. I have to get from A to B. Now, the B is getting from A to B, right? So that's balance. You have the idea and you took action. That's balance. You have the plan, the map, and you took initiative. So you're doing what you're supposed to do. So the energy is really calling forth for us to express our best selves, see what our best self looks like, to challenge opposition and not care about opposition, but to move forth fearlessly. And that's what the supermoon energy is about. But the only way you could really move forward fearlessly is if you're balanced. You have to think it, and then you have to do it. You have to visualize it, see it, and then you have to act on it. But you have to first see it here. You have to first see it here. All the details you have to see here. The map has to be here. This is about preparing. This full moon right now is about preparing for 2021. It's about preparing for 2021. Where will you be in 2021? What will you be doing? What does that vision look like? Where does that vision live? Are you on a beach somewhere? Are you speaking in front of 100 people, 1,000 people? Are you that doctor that you want to be? Are you the head of that construction team that you want to be on? And what do the steps look like to get there? What type of work does it take? Visualize it. Visualize it. Mercury in retrograde may not be the best time to start it. But there's people that have started things in Mercury retrograde that had no idea that Mercury retrograde existed. What they did was they knew that they were much more powerful than the influence of the planets, because you are. All you're doing when these moons and, the new moon, the full moon, and these retrogrades happen, you're riding a wave of energy. You're literally surfing on a vibration. You're surfing on a frequency. So when you're doing the rituals to this moon, you're riding the frequency of light that is coming on the earth through the moon. You're riding a wavelength. You're riding a wave of light, basically. And that's why it's so powerful to use the moon during this time period. But this full moon is really about analysis. It's a very heady moon. is very much in your head, and is very much is challenging you to express your best self, to bring your best self to the table. And the thing is, if you don't bring your best self to the table, then the universe is going to let you know. There's going to be things that happen that's going to set you back, to put you back. Because sometimes your hell is your best reward. Some of the worst things that have happened to me have made me great. Some of the worst things that I've experienced have made me amazing in other areas. Sometimes the worst things that I've went through have helped me overcome so much, because I learned the lesson from that. And not only did I learn it, I could teach it to someone else. So this Libra energy is about getting everything in order, getting everything in balance, getting the mind right, getting the vision right, figuring out the things that we need to cut off, figuring out the things that we need to let go, figuring out the things that no longer make sense for us if we're going to go on our journey. And that's where balance comes in. We have to let some things go off the scale so that we can balance everything out. And some things have to go. Some friends have to go. Some family members have to go. Some ideals have to go. Some habits have to go. And now is the ideal time, because mentally, again, with Mercury being retrograde, using the water sign of Pisces, and also Mercury is retrograde till the 28th, and also with this new moon, or this full moon energy in Libra. So we want to make sure that we are maxing out or maximizing what we're supposed to do. You know, and I'm just looking at some of my notes, but really, I've been feeling a lot of stuff lately. You know, again, a lot of mental chatter, a lot of back and forth, even some self-doubt, you know, and the self-doubt is just making me realize what I'm supposed to do and what my goal is and what I have to really cut off to achieve that goal. And if I'm willing to do that, what it will look like. So it's about reinforcement. It's about programming. It's about reprogramming our minds. It's about setting ourselves up to be our best selves. It's about looking in the mirror and asking ourselves, what are we doing? And what are we trying to become? And where are we trying to get there? And what do we need to put into place to get there? So it's about balance, and balance takes sacrifice. Balance takes sacrifice. There's a time to play and there's a time to work. Are you playing too much? Are you working too much? Are you working so much you don't see your family? Are you working so little that you don't bring enough funds in? Are you complaining all the time? Are you a victim of life? When things happen, do you just complain about what happens? Or do you find solutions to the things that happen and learn to overcome? Balance. There's a day and there's a night. There's hot heat and then there's coolness. Are you always fiery? Are you always cool, chill, and laid back? A lot of people just laid back. It's a lot of spiritual people that say they're spiritual people. They're just laid back. And they don't take any necessary steps to do anything with these two hands. They think everything's going to come mentally from a wish, a candle, and a supplication to the gods. The gods will help you. The spirit world will help you. Your spirit team will help you. The angels will help you. Your ancestors will definitely help you. Speak from experience. But the help that you seek is going to come from you putting these hands and this mind to work. Reprogramming yourself, getting yourself in alignment with your dreams, getting yourself in alignment with your goals, and figuring out what sacrifices you need to make so that you could live the life that you dream about. And not only live the life that you dream about externally with the riches and the, you know, let's say you become a billionaire. If you don't know how to manage it, it's going to be gone. And if you're not happy, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You're still going to have to wake up with yourself and sleep with yourself at night. If you're not happy with yourself, if you feel that you're not maximizing your best self, you're not taking care of yourself the way you should. So we want to see what these goals look like that we have. We want to see what it takes to make these visions. This is what this energy is saying, at least to me. And this is what this energy is saying, even through the signs or the constellations that they're under. So this is really about rehearsing, programming. And it's always about that daily, but this energy especially, again, with Mercury Retrograde, dealing with communication and miscommunication, you know, self-doubt, questioning things, questioning where you are in life, and also with the Libra energy of balance and a calling for balance in your life. And there's a lot of things that need to be let go. So with that, I'm going to say peace, power, and prosperity. If you like, please subscribe, comment, and I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Rob Blackstorm. Again, share, like, subscribe. Peace.